Good morning, John.
Good morning, Brandon. How are you?
I'm doing good. I just compressing a file here to send an email real quick, the little admin tasker, and I am set to go.
Okay.
How long are you in Argentina for?
For the rest of the month.
Wow. Okay.
I like to go to when I go to a place, I like to stay for a little while. And I'm not a tourist here. I'm not looking at, museums and stuff like that. I want to live at a place and work and exercise, do all my normal stuff. I just want to do it somewhere else. So I'm here for a month.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
And then I usually invite some of my friends on something like this, and some of them show up and some of them don't.
Wait, where was my invite, John? Next time?
Next time. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I think I'm going to come back here. I'm not sure I'm going to be traveling anywhere else. This place is so great.
Well, I'm reading the 5 a.m. club and they all go to that billionaire's beach house. That's as far as I've gotten right now. But
Yes.
That's what I'm imagining right now is you have a billionaire friend or you are the billionaire. I'm not quite sure which one.
I don't know.
So.
I'm a billionaire in training.
We all are. I like that. It's a good mindset to have.
I think I've had $1 billion. I just spent it all, right, Jack?
News to me.
You better start being nicer to me.
Yeah. Stop bullying so much.
Jeez.
I told my
My
kids there's no trust fund. Like you got to do
No
it all
trust.
yourself.
Yeah. Well, Jacko, we had a good session yesterday.
Yeah. How'd it go? What was the
They all did great. Colton is a superstar. As you know, he's deadly. He's like an assassin. You don't see him coming.
Pit viper?
He's good with the wet work.
And he's well read, right?
Yeah, many books.
Many leather-bound books.
And then Brandon did great too, and obviously. And then Stephen couldn't talk, so he had to chat with us. He gave us some great questions.
You lose your voice, Stephen? Blink twice if you lost your voice.
But he had been asked some
No,
questions.
it's just I had this nasty cold all week, guys. So it's been rough.
Yeah.
I'm getting through it though.
Good.
So is today the last day?
Last day.
Okay, so obviously any of you, Colton and I are already exchanging information. So I would like to volunteer to continue to be helpful to you, not just getting this job, but beyond that. If you need help, advice, introductions, feedback, anything at all, the best way to reach me is going to probably be through LinkedIn until we, till we get more information. But it's important, if not me and Jack, that you start to collect these people that are ahead of you in the civilian world experience table. They can give you some oh, don't do this, don't try this, whatever. And so we're both volunteering for that. Is that right, Jacko?
Yeah, 100% ditto for everything he just said. If you guys haven't already connected with us on LinkedIn, do that. Go through our LinkedIn networks, right? That's one way, kind of see the 500 plus connections. Just click on that and just start looking for folks in that network that you find interesting. Connect with them. If you want an introduction, you can ask. Happy to do that. Do a warm intro to anybody in there. So, we're here for you guys, as an evergreen resource now till eternity. So, we appreciate you guys, obviously what you've done serving the country, and also the attitude and positive stuff that you guys have brought to this group. So anytime, anywhere, you got your back.
I'll be John, definitely want to stay connected with you. I sent you a message on LinkedIn. I'll send you another one and just try to link up with you.
Okay. Well, let me just tell you guys right now, if LinkedIn, it's a good way to get in touch, but the fastest way is either a text or an email. So here's my cell number, 864-630-3238. So we can skip all the other stuff and just text me or call me with what you want.
That's
And if you want to
864-630-3238.
Yeah.
John, can we expect any international fees with our text to you?
Yeah, I'll send you a bill for that.
No, guys, I gotta tell you, just it still feels like the military's like right here. You guys have made a difference. I know in all of our lives in this very short time, and looking forward to the future with both of you and the rest of this group.
Awesome. Awesome. So, well, Jack, what do you want to cover today? You want to do an AMA? Want to do just to let them ask questions about?
Yeah, we can
anything?
do kind of like a, roundtable wrap up, anything that's still open. If anybody has questions, wants to learn more about stuff, has any kind of like particular problems or things they're working on, throw that out there. See how you guys are doing on your 50 cups of coffee. Whatever you guys want to work on, we're here for you guys. Stephen, one thing you missed yesterday or 2 days ago, I guess, was I found a resource that I knew existed through ScanSource that I just hadn't been able to put my finger on. It's these kind of vertical like hot sheets for mapping like what their problem might be and then what questions you can use to discover it. And then so that's something that if you've got a particular industry you want to focus on, I can drop that PDF in chat and you can just keep that on hand. And I apologize if you guys hear crunching in the background. My dog's eating a bone and she's just going to town on it. So she's kind of loud, but yeah, if you want like medical or IT or manufacturing or whatever, just drop that in the chat and I'll put the relevant PDF in there for you. So you guys can use that for whatever comes down the pipe.
Awesome. Yeah, I appreciate that. And I'm texting John right now, so you'll see it in a sec.
Okay, I got my phone up.
I have a question. I'm full of questions. So sometimes when I'm doing business development, people prefer to do it over text. Nothing comes across correctly ever in a text. How do you push through that and just communicate with them via text, or do you still try and set up that call?
Well, I think you if they're kind enough to give you their number, then you're in a great position because you can reach them. I mean, that's, so much of our other communication gets lost or stacked up somewhere else. So I think it's good news if you're on a texting situation. And the kind of the rule of thumb is, a text should be something like, "Hey, can you talk at 4?" Or are you ready to any hold up on signing the contract? I mean, just something real short and simple. But usually people use it to set up if it's important. Can we talk at 4 or 5 o'clock this afternoon? Just to set up, a phone call or a Zoom. Does that make sense to you, Jack?
Yeah. I like to ask people when I'm first making contact, say, hey, we're kind of near the end of the call. Like, okay, what's your preferred method of communication? You like me to stick to email, like a phone? Because some people will just not respond to email, only will pick up the phone. Text message, smoke signal. What do you want me to do? Right. So it's going to be, case by case. I like text, quick and sufficient. I've got people that I know that will say, hey, I might not respond to all your text messages, but I read them. So I will send kind of a one-way communication sometimes to people. And they'll just, kind of opt in when they want to do something. Right. So once you get someone's permission, basically to say, hey, text me whenever you got something I think you'd be interested in, then you can just send that stuff and know that they're seeing it. And, you know, but also like if you want to confirm meetings, like if I've got a meeting scheduled, I'll send someone a text message to say, hey, just to confirm we're on for, 10 o'clock coffee this morning or whatever. That way they can say, hey, I'm running late, or I got something that came up, or whatever. Give them an out if they need it. But yeah, I like to ask people what they want. So not everybody's gonna be the same.
Cool, thank you.
Yeah. Who's got something they're working on today? I mean, what are you guys, where are you in the process? You might got some good traction with any company. Steven looks like he's got something.
So yeah, based on just our conversation yesterday, I'm sort of set up a kind of a 1 hour power hour each morning to prospect and to track it. And so I just based on what we were talking about, I like set up the like the companies that like, hey, this is a hot lead or whatever. And then I have like my metrics down here of just like, how many touch points I need to do. And I kind of did some backwards math of like, hey, if I do so many, phone, text, call, smoke signal, Pony Express, and work on that for, an hour each morning, it's going to take me so many, and then eventually, that'll get to a job. So
Yeah.
I had the one job I interviewed for this week. I got a message. I did not get it, but it's going to be, I assume I'm probably going to need 5 real interviews to get one job.
Yeah, that's fair. And that I love the whiteboarding process, almost building a funnel. Like for every person that I reach out to, I got to do 1,000 outreaches to get one job, right? So 1,000 outreaches leads to 200 connections, leads to 50 conversations, leads to 10 interviews, leads to one job, right? I mean, that kind of like, you're going to fill that funnel with as many touch points as you can, and that's going to take that much. So, that's maybe not 1,000 might be much, but that approach is spot on. And yeah, one thing just to keep in mind for positive mental attitude and like mental sanity or whatever is when you're in this phase where it's like you don't really know, it's kind of ambiguous and vague what's going to happen next. It can seem like you'll be there forever, but there will be a day in the near future where all you guys are looking at this point in your life thinking, wow, that was a scary kind of transitory moment, but I've crossed the river. I'm on the other side. It might not be where I'm going to stay forever. I'm still kind of wet from the river, but you're a little more settled and stable, because this is about as up in the air as it can get, right? Location, career, family, all that stuff's kind of just tossed up. So just keep going.
Yeah. I think one other thought is, I'll just use Colton as an example. If Colton, in 2 months doesn't have the sales job he wants, instead of freaking out, about, the clock ticking, we could say, well, why don't we just get a job in IT? Let's get a job, as a contractor or something, working for an MSP. And that's the easiest thing in the world for Colton to do. And he can do that while he's looking for this sales job. And it completely takes the pressure off. It actually takes the pressure off of both sides. When Colton's interviewing someone, say, listen, yeah, I'm still working as a IT guy for a great MSP here in town, but I'm looking to get into sales. There's no hurry. I got a good job already, but I'm looking to get into sales. I don't know would it work for you or not. So maybe right now it's not the right time to take option B, but at some point, there's nothing wrong with doing that and just keep looking for that perfect thing.
Yeah, and something that I've been coached on and found really is a smart way to go about this. And this works for job hunting. This works for once you got a job, prospecting, networking in general, is have the mindset of giving to get, right? So when you meet with somebody, what are they looking for, right? So if you're meeting with a hiring manager, what are you guys looking for, right? You're looking for, young talent that's kind of fresh out of the gate. You're looking for people that are seasoned salespeople. What's going on, right? Ask them what they care about, what they're looking for. I met with a guy who does commercial insurance this morning. That was my, ChatGPT. Give me 5 questions for a commercial insurance agent. What does he care about with regard to cybersecurity? So figuring out what they care about and figuring out, I like to ask people what's your bullseye look like, right? What does the ideal prospect for you look like, so that you're not just out there asking for stuff for you, whether it's a job or referrals or sales or whatever. I've seen people that are just wildly successful and that's all they do. They spend most of their time doing stuff for other people, connecting people, referring people, and then stuff just comes back to them, right? I mean, Dad, Gary Tompkins, right? That's his entire business as a corporate recruiter. He doesn't prospect. He doesn't call people. I mean, he does to some extent, but it's people that he's been introduced to, or people that he's been, if someone shared their information, said, Gary, call this guy. For the most part, he's, since I've known him for the last 5 years, all he does is find ways to help other people that doesn't get him paid. And then when people are like, hey, I got a person who perfect for Gary, they send it to him. So people are sending him opportunities because of how helpful he's been to them in the past. And so he's been planting seeds for like 30 years. And now it's just this like incredible flywheel of reciprocity.
So what book, have we talked about the book, Robert Cialdini's book on persuasion? No? Okay, that's one book. That's one book you should read, or at least watch the YouTube on it, maybe 10 minutes worth to get the summary, but he talks about the 7 main ways to persuade people. And this is the preeminent book on persuasion, which is what we do in sales. He says one of the very, very best ways to persuade somebody is to do a small favor for them. And Gary does it all day. I used to sit next to him. My office used to be next to him, and it drove me insane because he never got off the phone. Just all day long. Jack, what you doing today? Well, how can I help you? What's going on? How's CloudHound? John, what are you doing today? What's going on with Noob School? Just all day. And what happens if I don't know what number it is of the 7, maybe it's number 2, maybe it's number 1, but if you do a small favor for somebody, all of a sudden they feel like they can't help themselves. They feel like they want to get you back. They want to help you. And they want to help you more than you help them. So let's just say Colton found this great company he wants to work for, and he volunteers to be on their the group that cleans up trash for their nonprofit activities. Whatever it is, and he's like, I want to help you guys. I love this company. One day I'd like to work here. You're like, we got to find a way to get Colton on board. He's a good guy. So that's selling. Okay, that's creating a way to get what you want versus, saying, I didn't get hired by these guys. It's something you can do to make it happen. So anyway, I highly recommend Cialdini's book. At least watch the YouTube.
What was Robert's last name again, John?
Cialdini. It's Cialdini, I believe.
I just put his website in the chat, Brandon.
Colton is sinking in quicksand.
His house is in a sinkhole.
Form a lifeline.
Well, I got something to tell you guys about, and I'm waiting to hear back on Brenna on James's last name, but a James type is coming to Seven Eagle to brief what he does, what his company does. It's sales specific. It's going to be at 1 o'clock Central on February 10th. He has 2 jobs available, so he'll be taking interviews. And I would think everybody in this group is going to raise their hand going, sorry, my video keeps cutting out, guys. I guess my internet is sucking. But anyway, so we're looking forward to that. I know you guys have given us just about every tool you could possibly give us to be successful with that. But did you guys know that was coming up? This is the first time you're hearing about it?
I just got the email yesterday. I didn't get a chance to, I'm gonna tell Jack and John, but yeah, so that's James, how do you say his last name? VOGT.
It is James Bond. Okay, awesome.
Vote, you pronounce it vote.
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 There you go.
Vote.
Vote.
That's
James is a
great.
good one.
Yeah, he's solid. He's,
So is
That's
that a
the
live
James you
thing or
guys
is that a virtual thing?
That's virtual, so he'll be, I'll send you guys the invite too, so that if
Okay.
you want to come onto that. And then, also one of the contacts you sent me, close this email, Ravi,
Robbie Sastry. Yep.
he is interested in getting people's resumes, so.
Yeah. That company is growing like wildfire. They're actually our biggest customer today and a good partner. So I actually just talked to Robbie this morning. He's excited to be connected with you guys.
Awesome. So those are the 2 that we have lined up that are interested, from the
Okay.
contact.
And then I think Reed Wilson was scheduled to talk.
Let me pull
Did
that.
that already happen?
The Reed is coming on the 8th.
Okay.
so
So
just so y'all know, Reed is a partner of CloudHound. So he's a partner. He's also someone who I hired out of college 20 years ago, who's just an outstanding business person. And he started as a salesperson and now he started his own MSP. And then he sold the MSP to a group of MSPs and he's running the whole darn thing. So he's got MSPs all over the Southeast where he'll be hiring, people that know how to do IT and then people who can sell MSP type stuff. So he and Vote and Ravi are all 3 prime people to get you what you want. And they're also good people.
And then Brenda, I don't know if they've made any progress or anything like that, but the folks from Third Wave Innovations, I don't know their founder, but I'm told that he's a veteran. So he was interested in connecting with the group, and I just don't know if that's gotten lost in the wash or whatever. But their contact information should be on that list. Patrick's my contact there, but yeah, he told me he probably wouldn't be the one to talk because he's not. He's just a sales rep. So, but yeah, if you want to reach out to him and just see who, give him the link for scheduling, and he could probably take it and run with it.
Okay, yeah, I sent him the link.
Okay.
So I'll follow up with all of them next week.
Yep. Nice.
I'm one person doing the best I can.
That's right. We all are, right? That's all just doing our best. So
You just need
guys,
to tell JP and Font to delay their hiring.
I can't, that's the problem here is we get people trained up and they just get snagged. Like it's great for them. It's sad for me, but
oh, that's fun.
we have people just waiting to pick our skill bridgers up once they're finished.
So guys, what this would be in the last day of the first cohort, alpha cohort. What feedback do you guys have for us that we could take on board and make it better for Bravo?
Well, I know, Jack, we haven't, it seems like we haven't had a lot of time, just 1 hour a day is tough. And so I know you guys have just been flooding us with all kinds of good stuff, and I'm not sure how you would go about doing this. But maybe towards the end of the next cohort, give them a shot to bring you a client, let them do the homework and give it a shot live and in class.
Yeah, so you're talking about doing like a live call. I thought about that. I thought about getting, some of our prospects and existing clients getting their permission to basically call them with everyone on the line and doing, a sales approach, right? Prospecting call. Canned, right? They were expecting it versus kind of like not, but that's a good idea.
Right.
Were you thinking also having like cohort members call people and do that live on with the group listening?
Right. Yeah. Just let them go, let them fly.
Yeah.
And if it goes horrible, it's still going to be a learning experience. This is what you could have done better to keep them online, whatever. But
Yeah.
let them take the wheel and just see what happens.
Okay. Another thought, and you guys tell me what you think about this, was having people call on their own time. So we do the class because, trying to pack stuff in, like you said, and then call, because I love the idea of having you guys do live prospecting with the opportunity to actually sell something and make money on it. That's really closing the gap between theoretical sales training and actually doing the thing. Doing the call or doing multiple calls on your own time, recording them, and then we could review a call or multiple calls that you wanted to review on the next class. That might be a little more efficient than having everyone do a live call in our 1 hour time slot.
Yeah.
But something
okay.
like that, I like that idea.
Yeah, even if it's just like over the phone, they can put it on speaker and record themselves, and that way it's kind of capturing it. Yeah, then they can screen share, the 5 to 10 minutes and do like one a class towards the end or something like that while you guys are teaching.
Yeah, no, yeah, I think that's you're right in line with kind of how I was thinking. And interestingly, you guys tell me if this comes through audio wise. So this was me playing around with AI this morning. ChatGPT wrote me a cold call script, B2B cybersecurity assessments aimed at manufacturing companies. I took the answer, condensed it, and put it in an AI voice thing. And it sounds like a computer, but it is kind of cool. Can y'all hear that?
Not catching the audio.
Okay. Well, it sounds somewhat robotic, but you can pick your voice. These different, profiles they have here. And it's not bad. I would be, so if I got a call and someone started reading me in this voice, I'd probably hang up, but it is, it's progress, right? So one day soon you could automate all your sales prospecting cold calls and just follow up on the ones that were interested. But for the time being, we're still doing it all ourselves.
I want to say, Jack, you just gotta switch your audio from your headset to your internal speakers, and it should play.
Okay. Let's see. Another way to do this. Okay. Can y'all hear that?
No. Maybe you have to screen share again. I'm not sure.
Identification of vulnerabilities and recommendations
Yes.
for practices to improve security. Would you be open to discussing the assessment further and seeing if it's a good fit for your company? I'm available in the next few weeks.
That's not bad.
It's not bad. It just makes me feel like because the whole spam call, vishing, all that stuff like that. So like, I feel like, especially people in the cybersecurity area, like I feel like it's kind of like our red flags are come popping up. Like, yeah, I'm good.
That's funny you say that, because that's been one of the kind of like paradoxical things about trying to sell cybersecurity is that the same stuff that the bad guys are trying to do, get you to pick up the phone, get you to stay on the line, get you to give up sensitive information, answer an email. It's all stuff that we're trying to do when we're selling it. So it's like, how do we distinguish ourselves from the bad guys? And I almost like to act just like a stereotypical bad guy to get their attention, and then be like, hey, did you pick up on all the red flags that I was putting off as a, it almost like embraces that, because you can't get around it, right? a marketing spam email is indistinguishable from a phishing email, right? They both are unsolicited. They both are trying to get you to do something, kind of compel you to an action, and they often look identical. The phishing operations use the same marketing email delivery platforms as legitimate businesses. No different. They use the same software.
Right. But what makes them successful is, since they're not doing it personally, they can send it to hundreds, if not thousands of potential contacts. And, you can't do that yourself in a day. So
Yeah, you can.
That's-
I mean, you can use those marketing platforms. Like I could use HubSpot, give it a list of 5,000 emails and names and have it send a blast to all 5,000 at once. I mean, you can do that. It's it's a numbers game. Well, that's a lot of email marketing campaigns are built around that. You take your 5,000 list, send them an email, and then the 500 that, opt in become your kind of focus list. And then you send them a secondary email and then say, maybe 50 out of that, they now that you got that 50 that are like, hey, we've opted in twice. So that's your kind of focus list inside the focus list, right? And then, okay, now you guys are on that list and we're going to send you, recurring stuff until you say, hey, we're ready. Okay, now send you, a proposal or whatever. Like you can, one of my favorite, this is a scam, but I'll give you kind of the way that the email flows was, it was an investment scam. So they claimed to be this expert stock picker. They said our proprietary algorithm, it vastly exceeds the market in terms of ability to pick winners. And so what they do is they look at a stock, say Tesla, for example, and say, our algorithm says Tesla is going to go up, whatever in the next week, and they send it to a group. Say you get a list of 1,000 people, so half the list gets the information that Tesla's going to go up. The other half gets the list that Tesla's going to go down. And then whatever happens, they just pair off the other half of the list and focus on the list where they were right. And then they say, hey, for this 500 people, okay, week 2, prediction Tesla or, Apple goes up or Apple goes down. And then they pair it, A/B, that whichever actually happens, now you have 250 people that think you're 2 for 2. And you keep doing that for 10 weeks until you have a list of like 10 names that think you're a fucking Nostradamus. And then you say, hey, we're 10 for 10 in the last 10 weeks. How good do you feel about putting down a big chunk of investment with our company? And then they're like, yeah, invest, and then they're gone. So you can be manipulative with email, right? And all of us can imagine sitting there and be like, oh my God, these guys, I don't usually respond to these kind of emails, but these guys seem like they're just printing money over there. So greed, curiosity kind of puts our blinders on. We stop thinking, rationally, and we're like, all we see is dollar signs, right? It's a no-lose bargain. And then, how could we? Oh, they said bet on whatever, bet on company A, and then, it's a crapshoot whether or not that turns into a win or not. But so it's a email is all about ethics, right? If you have morals and ethics, you're going to try and use it honestly. If you don't, it can be a tool for evil.
It's kind of genius, very sleazy, kind of genius.
Yeah, kind of genius. I mean, it kind of shows how our psychology is manipulatable, right? We're all fallible. We've all got emotions. I think some of us like to pretend like we don't, but everyone has an emotional trigger or lever that can be manipulated. And so I look at it, from the same perspective, right? If I'm trying to honestly, ethically connect with somebody and add value, you can still manipulate someone's emotions, right? You want to make the so what for what's in it for me, right? Why should I care about what you're talking about? Like, oh, I like making money. I like my business not getting hacked. So, relating these big kind of concepts to them on a personal, emotional level is effective, right? That's how you get through to people. Somebody in your peer group just suffered this outage. It wasn't just, high level 30,000 foot view. The industry as a whole is suffering. People don't care about that as much. They know it's important, but they don't care personally. But then when you relate it to them personally, it's like, oh shit, if our company got hit right now, could be out of a job, and I'm trying to put kids through college, and just like you start thinking about it from your perspective, then you're like, why should I do something? Because it matters to me personally. That's why anybody makes a decision. No one makes a decision because it's, you know, theoretically a good idea for their company. It's because it's matters to them personally.
What about you, John? Has your company ever taken email approach like that, or a less personal approach?
You mean to marketing?
Yes.
Yeah, we've tried it before and it was for us, it was very ineffective. We tried to do just a big, huge blast to everybody. And I would never do that again because it's kind of embarrassing. You know, if you're trying to hit 1 million people with a letter or email from John Sterling saying, hey, can I help you? It's just too canned. But what I would say is it's a great way to do it if your list is small enough where you can make them personalized. You know, where you can say, you know, I've got 100 people or 200 people and I can go through them myself and find something to say about you, Brandon. I could say, Brandon, you know, I'm not going to lie. I'd love to talk to you for 10 minutes. I'm interested in what you do for a living. I see that you're a big Rangers fan, and at least we share that in common. Would you be willing to share 10 minutes with me, you know, on the phone or better yet in person? You know, that's an email that most people would generally give strong consideration to say, I'll meet with the guy, you know, for 10 minutes, or I'll have a phone call with him. But if it's canned, it's just, I mean, people are just trained. They wake up in the morning, they look at their email. It's like, what can I delete? Delete, 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 delete.
Yep.
So these days, I think it's got to be personalized. It's got to be a small list.
Yeah, I fully agree with that. And I've only tried it once or twice, and it's almost unconscious, our ability to filter out those mass marketing efforts. It's like we've seen so much of it. I noticed when I'm looking at Twitter, it tells you at the bottom of each tweet if they're promoted or not. But it's almost like immediate. As soon as I see the top of the tweet, the words and the way they're crafted is just like, man, skip. I just automatically, it's like a split-second decision. Like, this is bullshit, right? I don't need to.
Yeah.
I don't want to see this ad. I'm just going to scroll past it. And you know, I think everyone has a similar kind of intuition. We've all been bombarded most of our lives with, you know, these mass marketing campaigns that are meant to be, you know, find the 1 in 1,000 person that it's meant for, right? Like, you know, like if I see a commercial for, you know, tampons or something like that, it's like, this is 50% of the people that see this, it's not relevant for, right? And then within that 50%, maybe there's, you know, another subsect that it's not relevant for, you know, preteen girls or postmenopausal women, like not appropriate for. So it's really, you know, maybe 30% of the people that see it, it even like is somewhat relevant for, and then maybe, you know, 1% of that small group is actually interested in shopping around for a new tampon. Like that's, you know, that's how most marketing works today. So we're used to just like making a high level evaluation in a split second and dismissing stuff immediately. So, you know, the mass email marketing done a lot. It's how a lot of the big companies work today. But yeah, getting a hyper focused list, something I'm not good at yet. I haven't figured it out. It's something that the new skill, you know, building a list and then nurturing and curating that list is something I'm working on, but it's not there yet. So, but most of my stuff is just all one-to-one, right? LinkedIn, organic networking, building actual relationships with people, and then positioning ourselves to be, you know, to get referrals, right? So one of the things that, you know, I did this morning with this guy, commercial insurance, is he asked me, he's like, how can I tell people about you, right? If I'm talking to a manufacturer, what can I tell them about you that, you know, like, and I was like, how about this? I'll send you an email with a short paragraph about what we do. It's a little power statement so that you can have that on file. If anybody ever, you know, comes up and needs what we have, then you've got this nice statement on file. And that's what, that way it makes it easy for somebody to refer you business. And that's how, you know, that's been effective for us versus doing mass marketing stuff.
Well, I think what makes Google ads and Amazon ads so successful is somebody's already reading that article, you know, the AI is at work and maybe trying to match that up, those ads. John and Jack, do you guys have something similar? Do you have like Google ads? So if somebody is checking out internet services, Jack, that, you know, you're giving Google a couple of bucks so CloudHound can maybe pop up.
No, I don't. And it's an area of weakness for me. It's just the whole online marketing thing. I was talking with a guy who's an Air Force recruiter. He's trying to get out, and he's like, you know, recruiting and PAO are like the two jobs in the military that do marketing kind of professionally. Everybody else, it's a blind spot, right? EOD doesn't have a marketing function, right? You're not telling anybody about what you can do unless it's like you know, it's face to face, right? You're talking to another unit and like, here's how we operate or whatever. So online marketing has been a struggle for me. I mean, I just got it to where my website is where I want it to be. It's not SEO, you know, optimized or anything like that. Roadmap stuff for sure, but I don't. Dad, I know you've done some stuff in that space, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a very effective thing to do. The first time I tried it myself, and it was just too much for me to figure out, and so it wasn't real effective. But we've tried it with a, you know, a third-party expert where I pay them a little bit of money to do it. It's very effective. So, you know, it's important, whatever it is you're selling, you know, getting the good leads, however you get them, whether it's from Google or Facebook, or whether you have your list and you're starting to ping them with emails or LinkedIn or whatever you're doing, is to have people that want to talk to you. You know, if they will raise their hand first and say, yes, I have a problem. And you think about it, when that's the case, you know, if they're saying, I want to talk to you, they're not thinking about you anymore. They're thinking about themselves. Like they could care less about your commission or any of that. It's just literally, I have a problem and maybe you can help me solve it. And I'm happy to pay if you can solve my problem. So that's the kind of people you want to talk to. You don't want to talk to people that are like, I don't know if I want to talk to you. I don't know if I have a problem. You know, sell me on it. I'm like, no, I'm not going to sell you on it. You know, you got to tell me that you have some problem maybe I can help you with, but I'm not going to sell you on something. It's a long answer, but it's good stuff.
Right. We're not salesmen, right? We provide solutions.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, is the doctor a salesman? I mean, they're just as much of a salesman as we are. They diagnose a problem and they provide a solution. And they're not making cold calls, right? People are lining up to get in the office. What else? Colton, you've been quiet today. What's on your mind?
Not much. I was just gonna say that for Bravo, them being able to have that submarine template, not like the one you'll take on the sales call, but just the one with the more information, so that they can just take their own notes along with having that to be able to really like study it and practice it.
That's a good idea. We could come up with we'll come up with a one-page cheat sheet that covers the qualifying questions, the BNR, the pain, all that stuff. That's a good idea.
Does anyone want a vertical like discovery cheat sheet? I talked about this 2 days ago. Stephen, you were the one that asked about it. That's why I was digging for it. But it's at a high level, it just maps out what that industry typically cares about. Some problems that are, you know, span multiple companies that, you know, you can ask about, and gives kind of some guidance on questions you can use to uncover stuff. So you know, that part of the submarine where you're doing discovery, that's kind of the biggest variable is what are you asking, right? What are your questions? Those questions that lead to pain, right? That's how you uncover pain, is by asking questions about them. So I'll put the one for manufacturing in here just because that's the one that I've got at hand. But if you guys want, you know, other industries, just let me know.
Do you happen to have one on building management, Jack?
Maybe hospitality. You mean like commercial property management, or what? What do you mean particularly?
Something that would relate to what James Vogt does.
Let me see.
Are you digging into Intellisys right now?
Yeah. Have you gotten onto that site yet?
I have not. I'm pushing through tonight with Sec Plus,
Yep.
so I can put it in my rear view.
Okay. And just so you know, Brandon, since you're already in there, since you've signed up and as in the portal, you can do live quoting using that tool we showed you. You could also potentially sell something like you were saying and get paid for it through that portal. So when I have someone that brings me an opportunity, and we're agreed to be sub agent relationship, that's what we do. They get that same onboarding package, get access to the portal, and then, you know, it can be as simple as you bring it to me and we can kind of walk through it together. Or once you kind of figure out how to manipulate stuff, it's like you can just take it and run with it. And that's the way. So as you kind of get into it, kick the tires a little bit, let me know. We can do one-on-one stuff and walk through that a little more in depth. Medical.
That's great, Jack. Thank you.
You got
That's
it.
awesome.
Colton asked for medical and IT. Wait one, Colton. Construction. So tell me a little more about what James does. I'm not as familiar with his new role. Brandon or Dad, what do y'all know about what Vote's up to?
You want me to go first, Brandon, or do you want to go?
I don't know any more than you do, John.
Okay, so he is, his company does building management,
Okay.
and that includes security, like cleaning, safety, I think maintenance. So all those ancillary jobs that support a building, they offer for companies that don't want to have those employees.
Okay.
And, you know, when we had a big building, we had a service like that. Somebody else would just handle all that stuff. We didn't have to worry about managing security people. And he's the sales manager for, I think, half the country. I think they have it split in half. And so he's one of the two VPs of sales. The company is headquartered in Greenville and recently has been bought or merged with a large national company. And so they're much bigger now. And so he's very happy with the company. And, you know, since he's been out, Brandon, he has been a sales manager at ScanSource, which is a great company, for about 5 years. And he was a sales manager at New South Construction, which sells construction supplies, and now this company. So I would say he's just a good, solid sales manager. I would think he'd be a wonderful guy to work for. And so anyway, I think it's a serious opportunity.
It really
And
sounds like it. Brennan gave a pitch this morning that he said he's looking for 2 folks and average pay was 200 to 400K a year. I don't know anything more about it, but it sounds very lucrative.
It is, to get that money, you've got to deliver, obviously, which is in his case, finding new building owners that want to take on this service. So unfortunately, or fortunately, it's not a hand-holding job. It's more like what you do when you're out in front of the troops, clearing mines. You know, you're out there in the front trying to find new opportunities and making it happen. And generally companies will pay handsomely for that task, because if you bring on a, $1 million contract, and they pay you, 20% or even 10%, they're going to get that $1 million year after year, probably more, and they're going to pay you, and you have to go find another one. So anyway, I think it's a great opportunity, and James is a great guy, but so is Reed Wilson and so is Robbie. I mean, they're all three of those are good for what you guys are looking for. And they're all
Yep.
based in Greenville.
That's right. I just threw, so there's manufacturing, distributed medical, information technology, and hotel and hospitality are the four vertical hot sheet that we threw in there. I think hotels and hospitality is going to be your best bet, Brandon, to kind of look through that and see if any of those questions or pain points are, seem relevant to James's company. So take that, for what it's worth. But in general, that's the whole point of those, is just to inform your discovery conversation with someone. Ask them a couple quick questions. Hey, is this pertinent to you? Resonate? Is this something that you care about? And then go from there.
How about you, Joseph?
I was gonna say, John and Jack, so you guys are definitely, you'll be in for the Bravo cohort, correct? For
Yep.
tech stuff? Awesome. Okay.
Yep.
If
So we'll see.
Brenna will have us back.
Oh, we're back.
Oh, I'm sure she'll have you back. I don't think
Where am
that's
I gonna learn all my stuff if you guys don't come back? This is the best part of my day.
We're going to have all new material too for this next act.
Yeah,
All
we
new.
definitely won't just rinse and repeat. And so we
Okay. I mean, if
Yeah,
there's a
we're-
drink minimum, so you're funnier, also just let me know and I'll buy the drink.
Yeah. No, we're excited about Bravo cohort. There'll always be a special place in our hearts for Alpha cohort, guys. First
That's right.
first group, but
The
move
A
on.
team.
That's right.
We're the plank holders, right?
That's right. Plank owners. This beautiful thing we're building here.
Beautiful.
So are you guys, I know you're still in the chute, so to speak, but pretty soon here, you'll be the people that have successfully transitioned, and people that are behind you will start asking you questions. Do you think that you'll say, hey, check out SkillBridge just generally?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I know Joseph already has his Sec Plus done, so I don't think the tech side would be beneficial to him. He also wants to be an entrepreneur. I think he should stay right here for his cohort.
Awesome. Yeah, that's so just, I don't know if I've mentioned this, I probably have, but I started last May doing work with veteran entrepreneurs in Greenville. So anywhere from I'm working full-time or part-time or whatever, and I want to start something, to I've got something already generating revenue and customers and need help, clearing the next hurdle. That's been really fun for me. I love doing it. It's very similar to this thing we're doing here, in that it's more one-on-one. It's more focused on their entrepreneurial endeavors instead of getting a job in sales. But the thoughts and methodology are very similar, right? Kind of figure out who you are, what you want. Start with the kind of top level, your why, where you want to be, what lifestyle you want to live, and then kind of build with that as your base, your foundation. So that's awesome. Joseph, we'll look forward to getting to know you a little better in this next cohort.
Oh yeah, likewise, definitely.
Yeah, you guys are one of the most, I guess, reassuring things for me in this whole journey, 5+ years is transitioning out, is knowing that everybody else is in the same boat, right? Just like, I mean, how many people get out of the military every month? It's like 100,000 or something. And we're all in the same boat, right? We're all entering this world of, civilian business and entrepreneurship and sales and whatever. And none of us have ever done it before. And it's scary because we're leaving this identity behind. But knowing, that other people feel the same way, other people have the same fears and, worries and anxieties about all this stuff, that really made a lot of made a big difference for me. Like, okay, I'm not alone, right? I'm not the only one that feels this way. So that's the most powerful thing you can do. Talk to people, share your honest feelings, especially other veterans. Reach out to people that are in your kind of target area, whether it's a geographic or an industry area, and just network with them. Say, hey, I'm just getting out of the military. Want to, talk to someone who's done it successfully. A little bit of kind of like bluffing or ego stroking, but it's true, right? You want to talk to someone that's been there, been out for a little longer, maybe it's established. And some of the people I talk to that are the most impactful, they got out of the military like 30 years ago. They've been out for an entire career, and you can start to paint a picture of what your life might look like in 30 years, right? Once the military is long, distant memory. So hard to envision that now, but I'm still kind of trying to figure out who that is, who I am post transition. So you guys I wish I'd done this getting out. I didn't do Skill Bridge. Should have. But you guys are ahead of the curve.
I would say it's the best class we've had by far.
This is certainly the best cohort we've had for sure.
Oh.
All right, we got a couple more minutes, guys. Last, bar's closing. A couple of the contacts you mentioned, Steven, which construction firm and ScanSource. Let me see who the ScanSource person is.
Mm.
I used to know the guy. I think he retired though.
Yeah, John Harvey. John
Harvey.
Left.
Yeah, he would be business development, sales, networking, and security ScanSource.
We could just bring Mike Bauer right to the table.
Could bring yeah. I think Mike and Jody need to connect, figure out.
Yeah, Mike would like that. I mean, Mike was the biggest sponsor of our efforts thus far.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Till Chick-fil-A showed up.
Yeah. Damn Chick-fil-A people and their delicious biscuits. Okay, so
there's some crack in there.
So I'm gonna put this guy's contact info in chat. His name is Joey Malamug. He is the manager of recruiting at ScanSource.
Malamug. Oof.
So reach out to him, or Brenna, I guess, if you want to reach out to Joey and schedule some sort of formal connection, however you guys want to do that. But ScanSource is a great company. That was James's first job out of the Navy. He was very successful there. So let's see. And you said what else, Stephen? You wanted which construction firm? The New South Construction Supply?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
so.
Let me get that up here. You think just Jim and Sobex be the best person there, or should we look at?
Yeah, give it to
downstream of
Jim.
him?
Give it to Jim.
Tyler Panagakos is the sales manager.
Damn.
Can you spell the last name?
I'll just put his email. Yeah. Here. He just has his Gmail listed, so I just gave you his name and title.
And you said you have his email by chance?
I can give you his email, but the one he lists on LinkedIn is just a Gmail. It's not a company email, so might not be as effective, but I'll put it in chat nonetheless.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I don't know why a lot of business people just put their Gmail in LinkedIn. Kind of a strange thing sometimes.
I'll obviously try to hunt these guys down on LinkedIn and message them and all, and I'll just say you guys sent me their way, and so to speak.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I have a meeting with somebody at 12, so I'm gonna bow out, but really appreciate that. I'll stay in contact, okay?
Net of.
All right. Sounds good, Stephen.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you, Deacon. Deacon Stephen.
Powerful, right? To say to a company, hey, you're going to get 3 months of labor. You're
That
going to
Jordy,
cover our fee.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
it's all good. All right. Well, we gotta, covered a lot in 2 months. Like we said, you guys are always welcome to come back and ask questions, and you have our contact information, connect on LinkedIn. Just don't think of this as the end, even as the beginning.
That's awesome, guys. Just remember when you make the cohort plaque and you put it in the back of the room, there's 2 B's in Kobe, okay?
Two B's in Kobe.
in Kobe.
I would like to get up in the owner's box at the Rangers game one day, if that's okay.
Oh, hell yeah.
We have to do that. That's a deal. Let me know if any of you ever are coming through DFW, please.
Have you
We will.
looked at, Brandon, what's the farms team for the Rangers?
We got one in Round Rock and Frisco in this area.
Okay. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's, we've got a AAA team. It's the farm team for the Red Sox here in Greenville.
Yeah.
That the owner, his nephew, I want to say, is an active SEAL. So he's been pretty sympathetic. And they were a customer for a while. So actually our first customer, very first purchase ever made by CloudHound was for the local baseball team.
Yeah. He runs a good organization too.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
awesome.
Yeah. One day we'll be on, they have a big billboard in the outfield with all their sponsors, and ScanSource is the biggest. When we want to get our little CloudHound logo out there adjacent one day.
Oh,
In the
keep us-
lower A
keep us
clubs,
up-
that can't be too much.
Keep
I
us
haven't
up to date on jobs too. We'd love to hear how things are going.
Yeah. And if anyone wants to do, mock interviews, if you got an interview coming up and you want to practice, we'll pretend to be that company. We're here for you guys. So whatever you need, whatever it looks like, just send it.
Awesome. Appreciate that, guys. I'm most definitely be taking you up on.
If there's nothing else, no one has any questions, caveats, complaints, gripes.
Yeah, you're good. Just can't wait to work with you guys next week.
Okay.
All right. We're gonna get out of your
Adios,
hair.
amigos. Vaya con Dios.
See y'all. Thank you.
See y'all.
Yeah.
See you soon, gents.
Leaders for our company. The much more effective evaluation tool.
And we're back.
And you're back. Okay. I have to get back to my company meeting that I completely forgot about because I was listening to CloudHound.
You can't help it, right?
I can. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys go take a break. I'll see you guys back in an hour.
Sounds good. Let me just pass on one thing. JP was having us send those docs directly to Mark, and Mark already sent an email back to me and said, no, you got to do it through Clark U because he doesn't have access.
Good to know. Thank you. I'll pass that along.
All right.
Great.
See you in
Bye.
All right.